You are waking up in a room where the floor is disappearing inch by inch. You don't even notice it. Why? Because your eyes are locked and your thumb is rhythmically scrolling through a glowing rectangle of glass. In this explainer, we are going straight into the digital survival strategies you absolutely need to stop your future from actively bleeding out in the dark.
Think about it. Every single morning, before you even draw a full breath of air into your lungs, you swallow a silent poison. You open an app. You see a former classmate leaning against a sports car. You see a complete stranger standing in a penthouse. You see a stack of cash. Instantly, your stomach drops. A cold, quiet voice whispers that you are losing, that you are falling behind. This isn't an accident. This is engineered. And if you do not stop this cycle right now, the consequences are terminal.
Let me tell you about Peter, a man who followed your exact current path to its logical conclusion. Peter is 28 years old, but the heavy truth is that he gave up at 23. He sits in a dim room. The blue light of a monitor reflects in eyes that haven't seen a real physical horizon in weeks. Peter feels a quiet, vibrating rage every single time he sees someone else succeeding online. Yet, he hasn't moved from his chair in 4 hours. He has stopped looking people in the eye, he has stopped training, he has become a helpless spectator in a world that completely forgot he existed. Peter didn't die in a sudden tragedy. He surrendered in silence, one scroll at a time. He turned himself into a ghost, haunting his own life. This is your exact trajectory if you do not wake up.
Okay, let's dive into this with Strategy 1, Inspecting the Facade. To dismantle this trap, you must learn to brutally inspect the facade. You have to understand this fundamental rule. Envy lives strictly on distance. It requires a massive lack of information to survive. The moment you close the gap and look at the reality behind the screen, the power of the image shatters. Look at Man A. When Man A sees a CEO's sports car online, he shrinks. He feels like a complete failure. He lets a two-dimensional, highly edited image completely dictate his self-worth. But Man B looks closer. Man B inspects the facade. He analyzes the CEO's 80-hour work weeks. He sees the heavy reliance on sleep aids just to function. He notes the broken family life, the high blood pressure, and the overwhelming misery required to maintain that shiny object for a fleeting moment on the internet. Man B realizes immediately that he never actually wanted that man's life. He only wanted a piece of metal. By deeply inspecting the reality, Man B instantly shatters the illusion of his own inferiority. He takes his power back.
That brings us to Strategy 2, the shield of downward gratitude.
The machine does not want you to realize this. Your despair is actively being monetized. It's a well-documented psychological fact that anger, envy, and outrage drive up to 5 times more digital engagement than any other human emotion. Multi-billion-dollar corporations and predatory algorithms built this digital trap on purpose. They do not want a confident, disciplined man who knows his purpose. That man is impossible to control. They want you weak. They want you desperate. A man in a state of panic will spend his last dollar on quick-fix scams just to feel like a winner for 5 minutes. You must forge a hardened mental shield to survive this extraction. This shield is downward gratitude. Now, this is not soft talk. This is not toxic positivity. Downward gratitude is a calculated, aggressive defense mechanism built specifically to protect your agency from the machine. It is exactly how you block the algorithms trying to keep you feeling perpetually behind.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark behavioral divergence required to survive. Man A slams his fist on the desk. He is furious and paralyzed simply because he doesn't own a mansion yet. He's completely defeated by what he lacks, letting an artificial timeline crush his drive. Man B takes a radically different approach. Man B looks directly down at his own working hands. He takes a deep breath and feels his healthy lungs expanding. He forces his mind to remember the millions of men currently sitting in active war zones or trapped in hospital beds, fighting just for one more day of life. Through this stark, violent contrast, Man B establishes an unshakable foundation of strength. He reminds his nervous system that he is already wealthy in the most fundamental metrics of human survival. He cannot be manipulated by the machine because he recognizes the absolute undeniable power of his baseline existence.
Which leads us to Strategy 3, deploying Mythfreud for abundance.
This is where you shift from defense to offense. You must weaponize the success of others to rewire your own mind for absolute power. The machine thrives when you feel small, turning your envy into their profit. You must short-circuit this by deploying a highly specific psychological tool called Mitfreude. Mitfreude is the act of actively celebrating the wins of others to prove genuine abundance to your own mind. Why does this matter? Because when you feel envy, you signal to your subconscious that success is scarce. You literally program your brain to believe that someone else took your slice of the pie, triggering a state of biological panic and retreat. Mitfreud flips that script entirely. It forcefully proves to your brain that success is everywhere. It shows your nervous system that victory is an infinitely renewable resource.
Now, what's really interesting about this dynamic is how it plays out in real life. When a friend gets a promotion, man A sneers. He shrinks into his dim room, consumed by bitterness, allowing his envy to weaken him. He creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of isolation and failure. But man B steps up. Man B firmly shakes his friend's hand. He looks him in the eye and sincerely congratulates him. By executing this physical act of celebration, man B forces his subconscious to register that success is not a threat. He registers that success is highly achievable and, most importantly, nearby. By celebrating proximity to victory, he programs his mind to attract it, while man A programs his mind for permanent defeat.
Let's move to and see how this builds right into strategy 4, transmuting envy into emulation.
You have to stop burning your own house down. You must take that raw, volatile energy of jealousy and force it directly into your own engine. Here are the exact psychological mechanics of transmutation. Step 1. You see someone fitter, richer, or faster, and you feel that hot burn in your chest, that spike in cortisol. Step 2. Instead of crying about it or letting it consume you, you make a cold, hard decision. You decide that if it is humanly possible for them, it is biologically and physically achievable for you. You use their result as proof of concept. Step 3. You immediately execute. You take that aggressive energy and you apply it. Man A sits on the couch, eating junk food, and calls a fit man lucky. He completely wastes the energetic spike. Man B feels that exact same spike of envy, harnesses it, walks straight into the gym, and pushes through 50 extra reps. He physically transmutes the digital poison into undeniable real-world power. He literally burns the envy as fuel.
Finally, we reach strategy 5, anchoring your internal calling.
But none of this matters if you are wandering aimlessly. If you do not have a locked target, every single man running past you will make you feel hopelessly lost. The digital trap relies on your total lack of direction. It constantly flashes new paths in your face to keep you perpetually disoriented. Man A lives in a state of desperate panic. He chases every fast money trend, every crypto scam, every drop-shipping mirage he sees online. Because he stands for nothing, he falls for everything. He consistently ends up completely broke and confused, entirely drained by the machine. Man B ignores the noise entirely. He locks his eyes exclusively on mastering his own craft. If that craft is coding, he spends his nights writing flawless syntax. If it is carpentry, he obsesses over the perfect joint and the grain of the wood. If it is commerce, he meticulously studies consumer behavior. Man B has a ruthless, impenetrable focus on his own trajectory. He becomes immune to distraction because his internal calling is heavier than external validation.
Because of this intense focus, Man B only asks himself one single question at night. Just one. Am I better than I was yesterday? He does not ask if he is better than the stranger on the internet. He doesn't care about the heavily filtered highlight reels designed to make him feel small. He only measures himself against his own shadow. That is the only metric of reality. So the crucial point is, you are standing at the edge of two very different futures right now. In one, you keep swallowing the poison. You keep scrolling. You end up exactly like Peter, a bitter, forgotten spectator watching your own potential wither into dust while the entire world moves on without you. In the other future, you wake up. You cut the noise. You lock your eyes on your craft, and you find an unshakable calm. You build the shield. You use the fuel. The clock is ticking in the background of this very second. Your time is running out.
Let this heavy, chilling truth sink into your bones. Nobody is coming to save you. No government, no influencer, and no miracle. Every ounce of hope you had for a sudden rescue must be destroyed right now. You are completely on your own against the machine.
There is no middle ground left. You are either the architect of your own survival or you are the victim of their algorithm. Which path are you walking right now?